evening, good midnight, good midnight morning, good 2 in the AM PM. If you didn't already guess, it's late as fuck. To be honest, I'm killing a little time. I thought, why not tune in with some of my favorite people on the internet? Fellow Twitchers. That's a little. We'll have to work on that. I don't know what you've been doing like without me, or like what you've been saying. Twitchers is not it though. I don't think. If y'all been saying that, like, still not it. So I have my mystery deck, and I don't think this is going to be very long. I don't think this is going to be like a full reading. I honestly just was like feeling. I was feeling pretty cute, if I'm being really honest. And I liked the setting, so draw some cards. No big deal. It's kind of a weird time of day where it just seems like probably nobody is anywhere on Twitch. Not for this tarot. It's just like a miss the boat feeling. But I'm gonna do it anyways, because it's just like how I am, I suppose. When I'm feeling motivated, I like to stay motivated. So right now I just want to get some quick insight on, I decided that today is going to be the best day ever, up until tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the best day ever, and then the day after that is going to be the best day ever as well, and so on. And that's just going to happen every day until the end of days. Every day is going to be the best day ever. So let's just see what's going on today. Like, I don't even know. Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? I don't know. I don't know. It's probably Tuesday. It's definitely Tuesday. So like, great day. Can't wait. Let's see what these cards have to say for like the best Tuesday ever that is about to commence. Cool. The Hero. Listen, the bottom of the deck is the reverse 8th position air. And honestly, hello, good morning. The whole deck is upside down. Oh, no, these are really mixed up. That's interesting. Okay, well, I saw it this way, but the bottom of the I think you're fairly new. I've taken like months off, but I'm also glad to be back. Bounce a lot. Reverse 8th position air. Honestly, I don't like him in the upright, so I feel like we are getting rid of some. I wanted to say chaotic energy, but it really comes down to like we are ridding ourselves of some villainous energy, okay? And depending on, well, it doesn't, I don't even think it depends on where you're at in the world. It kind of sounds like it's shit everywhere. It's just like more shit some places than others. And of course, the shit is always different, but it's all shit. So we are, surprisingly enough, shedding ourselves of this like villainous energy, despite the fact that it seems villains are on the rise. And the top of the deck, which this was extremely interesting to me, because it's not that I don't always look at the top of the deck. I don't even always look at the bottom of the deck. But this card was turned up while I was shuffling. And sometimes if I notice a card is face up, and it's the only one, I'll pull it out of the deck. And I just so happened to stop when it was at the top, which is like so Ferris wheel, right? It's like Ferris wheel's day off. Bro, I don't give a fuck. I honestly do think I'm hilarious. I really do. And it's very rare that anybody else thinks I'm funny or laughs at my jokes. But I am fucking hilarious. I don't even give a fuck. I'll be the first and only one to say it. As long as I'm laughing, I don't care. Anyways, the Hero. That's why I was like, he's got a very chaotic energy, but it's basically villainous. And if it was in the upright, it would be duality of man trying to balance the hero and the villain. But we are really like kind of sick of the evilness. And the problem is when you see evil around you, you have to look for the evil within you. And it's interesting to watch the way people react to bad news, especially when it's news that affects everyone. There's some obvious statements that I'm subtly making, but it has been very interesting to watch it unfold. I have my own stances on everything. At the end of the day, I'm punk as fuck, but if I aligned politically, it'd be humanitarian, period. So, I've made peace with the villain in me, mostly because I'm a Taurus, and I've had to accept that we are the villains of the zodiac. But if you have a hard time making peace with the villain in you, you'll never make peace with the villain that works against you on the outside. So you can see people who have legitimately convinced themselves that they are purely good are reacting the most to those who have outed themselves as purely evil, right? And instead of seeing your own villain inside, you just accept the villain on the outside, right? And there always will be both, but you know, the more disconnected we are from the one within us, the stronger is the one without us, right? I think we all kind of get the gist. Somebody didn't like it, that's fine. I still got cards. So we have, I think this is 4th position Earth and some air. 5th position air and yeah, 4th position Earth. I don't always love to lean into the masculine feminine dynamic when I do these readings, especially because this isn't romance, but you can see that the masculine is holding things up and the feminine is kind of taking off a mask, right? So if he is the foundation, then she is control. It's like back of house, front of house. And honestly, that's kind of how it is in restaurants too, where like it's the women in the front and men in the back, typically, not always. A lot of corporations do that intentionally, though you will see variations, right? And people who don't fit either, doesn't matter. You kind of see that they're not working together. They are not working together. And it's not to say that one is doing a more important job than the other or that, you know, one is doing well or not. But it's this energy of like, nah, these are two like not completely opposite cards, but it's like she's figuring out who she is, where she's going, who she's been, who she wants to be. She's removing the mask, but still not seeing things for what it is because there's a learning process. But he's like, I'm stuck here. I'm in this bitch. Like, I am doing this. I am everything. Like, I am the sole provider. I am the power, you know. But it quickly becomes very egotistical to think that you are the only one who can make it function, who can hold it up. So it's like two completely different energies where like this lady is kind of going in, reflecting and reminiscing and again, trying to figure out how to move forward. And I don't want to say ignorance is bliss, but it does err on the side of bliss. And powerful stance, however, you know, men with too much power become ego-tripping maniacs that ruin other people's lives and entire countries. Let's just be honest, there's been very few women with a certain power or with such credits, I would say. Few, I didn't say no. Pile, we have 3rd position water. No, 6th position water. she's reaching out. So while we have this uneven dynamic going on, it's not that it was previous, it's simultaneous to the most like reaching out and offering help to the masculine, even though she's really not in a position to be helping, right? She's like, can I take you with me on this journey? Can I give you a hand? May I offer you anything? Even though she's not really sure where she's going, she can't really see her own way. She's not even sure who she is or who she's been. So she's really in no position to be asking, but she's asking anyways. Ooh, is this emotion and intellect? Yeah. That's the thing. That is exactly it. It's like emotion and intellect. Emotionally, the feminine wants to help and wants to be nurturing and wants to lead the way and wants to be there in tandem with the masculine, right? But at the same time, she knows better. She knows that it's pouring from an empty cup at this very moment. It's about a balance. Not doing too much, but still doing, right? Here's third position with water. It's funny I said that. Here it is. Brace yourself. Strap in and hang on tight. Hang on tight. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Gonna be a bumpy ride. Yeah. Yeah. Brace yourselves. We have 10th position air. This is almost as if everyone is sort of coming together. We're not going to split the narrative at this point. This is the merging of the two. This is the union, so to speak. Or as though there are just categories, like two categories, feminine, masculine, just to choose where you're at and reflect maybe where someone else is in relation to you or in regards to your life. But this really signifies that 10th position air is definitely an evolved air sign, like in the final form. But you can see he's got his wings, he's got his wisdom, he's seeing the eye that sees back at him, and he is very boldly and bravely walking into the unknown with absolutely no hesitation. And so, as long as you can see what's happening and for what it truly is, and to know your limits, know your boundaries, know when you are empty and need to stop pouring, you should be able to handle any villain. But why not embrace the villain in yourself? 8th position fire. 8th position fire. That's a confident woman, but also a masculine element. That's a very niche reference. Going in fiercely, going in very forward, just making demands, taking action, telling people what to do, being assertive, not aggressive, but assertive. Like, yo, I'm not gonna force you to do anything, but I'm gonna tell you what is gonna be done. And whether or not you want to cooperate, whether or not you want to be on that team is up to you. And that we are moving into a time where it is crucial, especially for the feminines, the women, the whoever, to be this way. Because when we are not extremely assertive, it's instantly a slippery slope. Beyond a slippery slope, it's like climbing up a mountainside during an avalanche, where it's like, oh, sorry, didn't see that coming. Oh, that hit me, rolled me over, knocked me down the mountain, but I'll climb up again, So as we move forward, not when we move forward, as we move forward, we definitely need to be walking in with confidence, especially, once again, ladies. And I think people could definitely stand a lesson in humility as well. You don't need to be humiliated to feel humble. Figure it out, Really, hello. Think about how many opportunities were complete accidents and realize that maybe It wasn't anything you deserved or anything that you earned, but rather pure luck. And for that, you are so grateful that you are actually humbled that you didn't really do jack shit for most of it, right? Life. That's kind of how it all plays out. We're all just doing random things all the time, and sometimes they line up. That's about it. I do general. Maybe you can check out the whole thing. Um, so we have 14th position water, king of water. And this is once again more of a union, more of a coming together, working together, becoming a team. You have both the king and the water element being feminine, being represented in one. So once again, confidence, confidence, confidence. And nothing that starts can't be stopped. Nothing that starts can't be stopped. It seems impossible. It seems impossible to stop now, or to get control of something that is so out of control. But when it's designed control, I guess there is a controller, but who controls it? 7th position, fire. More self-reflection. Who, me? We're talking about the villains within. We're at a particularly difficult crossroads as a global community, as well as within our local communities, right? It's the whole fucking goddamn world is in crisis. But my instinct is to say it's no accident, but since I was technically going to channel these messages, but I just ended up reading cards. It is by design this way. I think I'm gonna go full alien right now. I channel with this deck. It's gods, goddesses, guides, and galactics. That's why I made the title what it was. It's definitely some alien energy, so I'm about to go in. Don't mind me. I'm gonna just say what they're thinking or what I hear to say when I saw this card, right? It's a reflection period, okay? It's regardless of what you believe or the science behind anything, because honestly, nothing is inherently more real than anything else, and everything that constitutes as human knowledge is just that. There's no ultimate truth, there's no ultimate decider, there's no ultimate rule. It's our best guess versus our best guess versus our best guess versus our best guess. And the best guess is just whoever interpreted repeating data in the best way, okay? So this is very much by design in the sense that when societies reach this point of being, you know, theoretically 2,000 years old, that would be a Christian society, right? Which isn't a bad basis because humans have been around a lot longer, and you can see ways that certain parts of the world are far more developed than places like the US, which is a fairly new place to be. You know, we're talking a few hundred years, not a few thousand. But seeing that Christianity and Christian values have such a hold on this young country, you can see that this timeline that started for this space began for our calendar year. And so we are at this point, we're about 2,000 years into a society, not a country, not a culture, not a community, but a society. One that is ruled by something as simple as Christianity. And any society that gets to be this age, that survives this long, because how many religions or how many sects of religion or how many even languages or people or races that we don't know about, species that we do know about, either don't make it to this point, make it to this point, or have surpassed this point, where every 1,000 years, you gotta have a check-in. So 1,000 years ago, What were the Christians doing? The Crusades? Maybe? I I do kind of brag about being a bit of a history buff, but I also definitely feel I blocked out a lot of religious information that I learned in my public education. So any kind of religious history, I'm not as quite as good. But we'll just say 1,000 years ago, Christians were still killing people because when they stopped to reflect and stopped to self-analyze, they didn't see anything wrong with themselves. They saw something wrong with people outside themselves. And we are seeing that same pattern happen now, right? Where this wave of, it's not necessarily all Christians. It's again, it's a societal issue. It is a Christian society, whether or not a majority of the people follow the Christian religion. It's not a Christian population, it's a Christian society. So once again, every 1,000 years, and especially when you get to 2,000, what they tell me, you gotta be able to accept universal truth, which is still up for human interpretation at the end of the day. But rather than fixate on laws of gravity or I don't really get what you're getting at, because it's like true, but also not really what I was saying. Because once again, we've conducted a moral code based off of this particular storyline, right? And we've developed entire countries off of it, and colonies even worse. I think colonialism and Christianity go hand in hand. But you're right, there have been other societies in the past, but if you think someone like Genghis Khan, he didn't really follow religion and he was a bit of an outlaw. He gained power by being vicious, but he wasn't really involved with moral conduct or had any kind of like goals. Okay, that has almost virtually nothing to do with like now, though. You know what I mean? I don't get how it's relevant. It's not that I don't understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying. I just don't get how it's relevant. You can compare the two. And when you think of a religion like Hinduism is so much older than Christianity, but why does Christianity have such a hold over society? Especially if you do look at a country like India, where most of the population is Hindu, right? And Hinduism itself has branched out in so many different ways, but the overall societal change in the past few hundred years, 2,000 years, whatever it is, has gone west. It's gone towards Christianity. It's gone towards even whiteness, modernization, but it's a very particular kind of modernization because when you see other areas evolve, you don't always take the same route forward, right? And so there's a very specific route that's come from this, and it's, I don't know what the school systems in other places are like, but they sure do teach a lot of fucking English basically everywhere, right? So even though more people are Hindu, Christianity is still a dominating culture. You get what I'm saying? Because colonization, right? Like, because they didn't give anybody a choice. And so, yes, you're right. If that's what you're looking for, that this has been done before, this is a particularly evil chapter of this happening, right? Like Christian colonialism. And so that's what they're saying is like, if you can't sit down and reflect upon that and just accept it for what it is right now, instead of saying, well, this has already happened, it's all been done before and it's the same thing over and over again. No shit. It's still got to go forward though. It's like, you remember those Goosebumps books where you could like pick what page you go to? It would be like, you can either, if you want to go this way, you go to this page, or it would just end there, or, you know, you could make decisions in the book. It's like that. Sure, we know generally how the story could play out, and we know how it has played out before, but we are still writing it. It still has a hold on people and us. Us as in maybe the US. It might be less prominent in other places, but it doesn't seem like it is when, like, Northern Ireland still identifies as whatever, versus Ireland, which identifies in another way, but they're all Christian, right? Where it's like division within division within division, which again, you can find across any religion or political body. Sure. You can. But this is the current problem. So trying to say, oh, well, this was someone else's problem at one point too, and other people have done this too. Yeah, well, that doesn't solve anything, does it? That's just addressing more of the problem. That's why I don't know if I sound like a bitch. I don't really care. It's been a long day. I'm very monotone. I don't mean it in any type of way, but that's why I was like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but honestly, it's not really what I'm saying. It's not even like we're disagreeing. We're agreeing, but yeah. So, this is exactly what I mean. Destiny in reverse. You cannot just assume things will work out in a certain way. And honestly, something that has been on my mind quite a bit in this past week or these last few days, in light of everything going on in the country in which I reside. We're not coming on here to defend colonialism. I don't care if that's how I got here. No, no. We're not, no. Absolutely not, no. Fucking 100% absolutely fucking no. I'm sorry. Now we disagree. Now we absolutely disagree. I mean, yeah, am I grateful for my experience? Sure. Do I only have this because of all the people that came before me who did colonize the fuck out of this country? Sure. Do I think it was worth it? No, absolutely not. I mean, yeah, I'm grateful. It's worth it for me as a person, but overall, no. Everything was fine here before anybody came and changed its name and forced people around. Like, no, that's like saying, well, the physiological warfare against indigenous people was worth it because now we know what the average supplement vitamin dose is, right? No, I don't think it was worth it. There's just other ways to find out what you can do. What does that have to do with colonization? You have to understand the colonization part happened way before anything that you're referencing. Abolishing slavery, that was the late 1800s, and then the civil rights, female rights was, the 20s, and civil rights was the 50s and 60s. And even still, none of those aforementioned people are free. None of it actually held, and none of it was real or true. We're all still in shackles in some regard, especially, prisoners who are actual slaves, indentured, I guess, but they work for no pay and they live. I don't know, like what, it's like,
America was the first. No, they didn't do that though. They never abolished slavery. They just changed it. They just put people in a building and said, okay, well you deserve it because you're a criminal, you know? Yeah, okay. And I believe you. But once again, just because we said we were doing something, I promise you does not mean that it was done. Like, far from it. You know what I mean? No, and I'm sorry that they've convinced you that it's, once again, just because you say you do something doesn't mean you do it. And because we do have a slavery system here in America, it is the prison system, as it is in many other countries and places. But half of the prison population is wrongfully accused, right? Wrongfully charged, wrongfully indicted. Is that what it is? Wrongfully imprisoned. And then they still haven't released people who got sentenced life in prison for having like dime bags on them. You know what I'm saying? Like people were accused of murder and serve 50 years and they're like, oh, by the way, we actually just discovered that you were innocent. Can we give you some money to make up for the lost time? No. That's enslavement. When you are like holding people against their will for no reason, you know, like no crime, no punishment. It's not low wages when you're in prison and don't get paid though. It's not low wages when it's pennies on the dollar and your commissary is the same price as everything on the outside. You get what I'm saying? That is slavery. 50%, we're not talking 50%. I don't think you realize how little some people get paid. And it's not every prison, it's not every state. And that's the thing about the United States is that it is going to be different. But no, there's definitely people who are just completely enslaved. That's like what's happening in Texas is during these heat waves, these prison systems have, or these prisons have no internal air conditioning, right? They have no ventilation, they have no cooling system in them. And they're just letting prisoners die, right? Like that's inhumane conditions. How is that any different? How is it any different than having a slave where you just have people that you keep in a cage that you pull out when you want them to do something and you want them to work and then you put them back when you're ready and then you starve them out, you sweat them out and you let them die, let them kill each other, kill them yourself. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's absurd? It's literally not everyone in prison has committed a crime. I am really, really sorry. Oh my God, as if rapists ever get arrested, let alone prison sentences in this country. I'm really, really sorry to like whoever educated you or wherever you're at or why you worship colonialism. I'm really sorry. Like, I'm really deeply sorry for you. I don't know what else to tell you. This was not supposed to be the point of this was a reading. But if you are so invested that you want to have this entire conversation with me, I am sad for you. I am genuinely sad for you. Granted, not everyone understands what it's like in America, and I get that. It's still dope as fuck. I can still just sit here and be doing this right now, sure. But no, that shit is not sweet, and it is modern slavery. So, like, saying they abolished slavery, they just changed the rules. They didn't. I don't really know. I don't get what you mean by that, but I know there's like a delay in the chat, so. Okay, you need a vinegar. Fuck off. First of all, I wasn't prepared for this debate. Like, what do you mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. Why don't you produce your own data? Like, it ain't about that. I literally just said it ain't about this. You made it about this, and you're like, blah, 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 blah. No, you made up statistics and you're putting them in my mouth. I never said anything about 50%. What are you talking about? I never used a statistic. Like, I said there are people, and if I said, oh, half of them, it was obviously an exaggeration and definitely not a statistic. That's linguistics. Know the difference. I'm not making claims. I am shutting down your worship of colonialism and letting you know that slavery was not abolished in this country. It was changed. That is all. This is not like you literally made this about this, and I am letting you know, because this is my channel, how I fucking feel about you being weirdly into colonialism and trying to defend it in any way, shape, or form, or the fact that you think America is in the lead for like freeing people, giving people rights and stuff. Like, that's funny. That's really funny. I literally started this rant by saying I was grateful. I think I'm ready to honestly ban you if you don't shut the fuck up, to be honest. Like, you are, it's not even that I'm angry, it's like you're irritating. And I think that you are going out of your way to try and make this about something it's not and make me someone I'm not. So you can wait until the stream comes out and you can watch the whole thing and you can hear what I said in the beginning and you can hear me say, super grateful to be here. In fact, I think I was already talking to you when I said, am I grateful to be here? Yes. Do I think ultimately it was worth it? Probably not. Like, you are the one not making sense, to be honest. So I'd quit while you're behind, because you ain't about to catch up. And I'll just boot you if you want to keep acting like that. It's weird as fuck, to be honest with you. You need statistics for what? I'm doing tarot readings right now. Like, why do I need statistics? I'm sorry. You derailed the conversation and I was not going to just let it slide. Bro, I was literally talking about how the system needs to change and how the change comes from within and we need to look at the villains within ourselves. You are clearly not at that point, and this reading is for you for that reason, because you cannot even accept that you've been villainized in your life and you are taking the stance of the perceived villain. So the sooner you identify with that, the better off you'll be, and the sooner you will start to see these changes. Do you want to get back to the tarot readings? You are, wow. All right, I'm done. Humanize criminals? Yeah, because people make fucking mistakes, bro. Criminals are human. What do you mean humanize criminals? Do you hear yourself? They are literally human. And like, the thing is, criminals are not criminalized. So a lot of innocent people do get criminalized, yeah. So I do have a lot of humanity towards all people. Bro, you're disgusting. You are disgusting. This is far beyond trolling, dude. This is gross. I'm sorry you've just, it must suck. It must suck to be a virgin for this long. Like, I literally can't even imagine. Jesus fucking Christ. Can you go? Oh my good God. I don't give a fuck about the goddamn, bro. I don't even know how. This is, you gotta go. I don't even, does anybody know how? Because history repeats itself inevitably. Bye. Okay. Cool. I blocked. Can't read those. I didn't know how to kick you out of the chat, so I guess if you want to keep talking to yourself, you can. Damn, it still shows up on the screen. How do I stop this from happening? Bye. Thank you. Please, for fuck's sake. Anyways, there's no competent or effective way that you can change a system. That is absolutely not how it works. You either burn it the fuck down or you slowly build it bit by bit. You take it apart one step at a time and you rebuild it one step at a time, and that's it. You don't just change it. It doesn't just magically become something else. You can destroy it instantly, for sure. You can just fucking burn it all down. That's great. You can have a total physical revolution and just absolutely go bonkers. And if you just, destroy it, it will inevitably cause change for sure. But you can't just be like, okay, we want a better democracy, so we're just gonna wake up and be like, yeah, this is it. It's bit by bit, bite by bite. So yes, the first things first is the self, and seeing how you've played a part to get to where we are today. It doesn't come down to the fault of any one person, even when it comes to political leaders, even when it comes to people in power. They are but a piece of their own part, right? They are playing a role in a sense of theater, right? Every theater production does have a star, but they also have the supporting cast. They have chorus, they have the pit, they have stage crew, they have lights and sound, they have ticket sales, they have concessions. Like, it's a theater production. So if you go to the theater and you say, wow, that actor was amazing, they were so good, they were the play. It's like, okay, I mean, you are definitely allowed to feel that way, but in reality, there was hundreds of people. There were so many people involved with that theater production that to see only one actor, because he took center stage, would be discrediting the production itself, right? It's like you didn't even see anything beyond this person in the spotlight. And that's exactly what this is. That's exactly, if you want to refer back to the Christianity thing and see Jesus as the person in the spotlight without recognizing that there was an entire religious organization around him. And part of the organization was to do things like protest or feed the hungry or, just have disciples and shit. So there was so many moving parts, but all we really think of or know of, unless you read the Bible and get intimate with the religion itself, we all know Jesus. He's the center stage. Same with any president. They're all pretty much evil fucks, but are they single-handedly an evil fuck? Absolutely not. They're part of a team of evil fucks, right? So the sooner you realize that you are on the production team, just because you're not center stage, just because you're not in the spotlight, just because you're not the lead actor, you still had your role. You still were part of the production, and you still are in the theater, right? Even if you're in the audience, that's still a role. You're still watching. And when you leave that theater and you don't like that play, but you don't write that review, you don't tell your friends not to see it, you just don't like it, and you go, I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to be controversial. I don't want anyone to know I don't like this play. Why are you still here? What the fuck, dude? Move on. I literally do not know how to get you out of this chat, okay? I'm new on Twitch. All I can do is block you, and it doesn't get you out of the chat. I'm not talking about that anymore, okay? Stop ruining my best day ever. You're not even a douchebag, because I know you never been close enough to a vagina to clean it, and even if you were close enough, it wouldn't be clean, would it? Get the fuck on, bro. How do I get him out? Can someone else who's watching this tell me how to get him out of my stream? Because blocking him just made me not be able to read the chat, and it still pops up over here, and I just don't like that. Got it. Fuck yeah. Restricted. And
Let this sit. No, I can still see it. This is like so weird to me. Oh, but you can't. Okay, we fixed it. Anyways, can I do my fucking tarot reading now? You fucking weirdo. Anyways, so I don't really remember. We were not talking about the prison system anymore. We definitely moved on. Oh, so even if you're not in the spotlight, you're still part of the production. Yeah, so it's the same thing for like something like politics, right? You're like, oh, fuck these politicians, you know. They are so terrible, which they are. Don't get me wrong, I don't fuck with any of them. I'm a humanitarian and nobody's running on that platform. So, sure, fuck them. But to think that they put on the whole production is just a buy ticket, sit down and be at the theater, whether or not you were actually on stage crew setting them up, whether or not you were the one who, you know, forwarded their message. I just feel like you're trying to be so deep and missing the total point. I think I'm just gonna go. Y'all are whack as fuck today, and I honestly don't have time for this. It's just like, what? It's literally like, what? I don't. Why? Why? You know? Again, this is people's resilience to admitting that they are the problem. And it's not you in this moment in this stream. It's once again on a much larger scale where you see the rise of the villains in power. And oh, how did this happen? How did we let this happen? First of all, you relaxed enough to assume it wouldn't happen, right? You got so comfortable that you trusted the situation. You trusted the government that you claim to not trust, right? And two, you can't really admit when you've done something wrong, right? Or not done something wrong, because most people can admit when they've done something wrong, but most people cannot admit that they are bad people, right? Just like bad people can be good people, and no one is all this or all that, right? And it's I think that not, I don't even, it's not even that I think, it's, I've noticed that many commonplace beliefs, not beliefs, but perspectives or ideology, what is the word I'm looking for? Perception, I think, I guess, perception, whatever, I might think of the word. No, it's not perception. Like commonly placed beliefs, ideology, perception, the fourth word right there that would go in that group is the word that I'm trying to think of. But I've just noticed so many things that are held as normal are very narcissistic in nature. And it's not that everyone's a narcissist, it's that the narcissist is the spotlight, right? The narcissist has the spotlight, and they dictate what happens in the show, regardless of who set them up, regardless of who built the set, regardless of who's in the production. Whoever has the spotlight has the attention of the audience. And if you want to be in that spotlight, you have to work with your main character, the front person, right? I mean, it's like 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have to do the dance, you know. If you wanna, if you wanna dance, you're gonna have to tango. But to take away from the analogy, right? We tend to have these, widely accepted truths of like, you don't owe anybody anything, or a reflection of, or your perception of you is a reflection of me, or vice versa, whatever. All these little things that we are like, yeah, that's so true. Like, I am an independent boss bitch, you know? It's really narcissistic in nature, and it's because people like politicians or even like some celebrities have narcissistic traits. And when someone is popular or someone has power, it's very easy to influence the people around you, right? And it creates a ripple effect that you then see in your daily life, where like not everyone has to be a narcissist to live in a narcissistic society. That's why it's like, don't ask for help. You shouldn't have to rely on other people. And, I don't need anybody. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. That's borderline gaslighting when you like, I mean, we've definitely all discussed that particular phrase enough for me to not go into it, but like to convince someone that they should have the adequate resources that you had to be able to do what you did when you absolutely know they fucking don't, is kind of by nature gaslighting, right? So you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a commonplace thing. It could be 1 in every 100 or 100,000 people are narcissists, but if those narcissists have risen to power, then it influences the way that we think, the way that we do, the way that we act, the very, very ideology that we follow. You know, it can be kind of scary. So, ironically, having this like fiercely independent, slightly narcissistic take on life, it's like, well, I didn't do it. It's not my fault. I was minding my own business and drinking fucking water, right? I didn't do anything wrong. It was those damn corporations. Cool. That's like saying it wasn't me who burned down the theater. It was the goddamn audience. Like you saw a crime happen. Not to go back to the criminal thing. Oh my god. But that's like being a part of something, being in the theater, seeing something happen, and being like, "Oh no, it was the cast. Like it had nothing to do with us, but it involved everyone." You know. So it's ironic that it has this almost reverse effect, where you have this need to be included, but you exclude yourself. Although I guess it goes right along, if the narcissist isn't independent, then you would want to be absolved from any group, whether an effort or failure, I suppose. So I just think it's interesting. I don't know. These are all in the reverse, so I'm just gonna put them upside down. We got 3 fire cards. That's the thing where it's like, this is what I was saying earlier when we got the 3rd position fire, where I said, go boldly, confidently, and fiercely forward. Like, be assertive. You don't have to be aggressive. And it's great that we actually got a real life living example of me putting that into practice by like, some dude is gonna come on here and try to like tell me what I'm saying, try to put words in my mouth. And for too long, and too many women or people in general just accept that shit and want to avoid the confrontation and don't want to take the time or energy to correct themselves or the other person. And I get that too, because shit, nobody's got time like that anymore, right? But if we don't, we further slip into this type of society that we currently have to deal with, right? Man, man, oh man, oh man. But yeah, I was gonna do like a quick 30-minute reading, and it turned into like 30 minutes of arguing with some rando.
So we have second position fire. Lesbians, just kidding, but like lots of feminine energy, women working together once again, the femmes working together and just no longer relying on the masculine. That's the thing. Nobody is relying on the masculine just because he's holding up the foundation. We hate this foundation. We want to rebuild it. So you holding it up is doing nobody any favors. Let go. Let it come down, men. And look, third position fire. You do. On the road again. Like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just like pack it up, keep it moving. You don't have to stand here and hold it. Remember that fourth position, earth? You don't have to stand here and hold it, masculines. You really don't. You can just be like, damn, these women were right after all. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going with them. See how he's facing them. He's going with them. He's like, nah, you're right. Fuck this shit. You know? Because that's the thing. The system is being held in place by everyone who is a part of it, which we all are. I still had to, fill out my forms to be here, right? Like we all do. We're all a part of this system. So the more that you comply to it and the less you question it and the more that you just do what you have to do, the stronger it becomes. You have to throw some eggs if you want to find out how much a dozen is, right? I don't know what that means. I definitely don't even know what that was supposed to be honest. You have to throw some eggs to find out what a dozen is? Like, sure. I guess that's what we're doing now. You know what's uncanny? Fourth position fire. This deck is not new. I've had this deck. It's a used deck that I got in August. Just now, the last three cards. Yeah, it's a collective reading. They're always collective readings. Especially, I have a small crowd, like I'm not a big channel, so you can take them pretty personally, but this deck in particular isn't gonna be about people and situations. So when we do the Thoth deck, that is a general reading that will often feel personal because there will be a storyline to follow and there will be things that come up. It might talk about work or it might talk about relationships, it might talk about family, and it's like, oh, I can relate to that. That sounds like what's going on in my life. Same with the pink deck, the love readings, where it's like, oh, my love life. Okay, I can relate to that. Even though it's general, I'm watching this because this is my message. But with this deck, they're never like that. It's never a particular situation. It doesn't go into daily life. They're always going to be very general messages and very abstract, this deck in particular. That's why I call it my mystery deck, because you never know what you're going to get. But it's my favorite. It's personally my favorite. And usually it's more channeled, and I probably would have been channeling had I not been interrupted by, I'm sorry, I was being sassy towards you because I was like, you're just encouraging this other dude. Like, you're always chill, dap, 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 dap. No, like you're cool. I don't want you to think that I was mad at you just because I was trying to end the conversation earlier, by the way. And I think these are good questions, but this one is really intense when you get like a personal reading because, like I said, I usually channel. I got pulled out of it today. It's probably for the best that I didn't act like a weirdo in front of my enemies, right? Where I'll use accents and voices. And it's crazy. I often have said that when I pick up this deck, it feels like I'm holding Mercury in my hand. Like, this is the most intense. And it can be harsh because it's like your guides, the gods and goddesses, people who got no fucks to give, right? The Halloween oracle is people, the deceased, right? And so those are usually pretty soft messages because it's like your loved ones or your idols coming through and like giving you advice and being able to relate to the human experience. But this deck is non-human experience. And so a lot of times these are pretty harsh cards. The Thoth deck is still Aleister Crowley, and I feel like my style of reading has always been
very radical and very honest and oftentimes brutal. Like I've never held back. So I would say it's between this one or the Thoth deck, but you know, the pink deck sexual magic tarot is just basic, you know. So I think these would be the answer to the harshest. It's just this wasn't a very good example of what these cards do. There's some really old videos on my YouTube channel when I first started using this deck on there, probably like September time, where it was like, again, Mercury in my hands. And you can see the transitions more where it's like, whoa, the fuck is she doing? And it's funny because I really respect the fuck out of these spiritual people, or even like the people on YouTube and shit who channel messages like with confidence, because I feel like a fucking weirdo when I do that. And I'm still open about it publicly, streaming and whatnot. Not in this moment, but again, you can see some of my past videos. I'll do it, but I definitely feel weird about it, and I don't just run to it confidently. I can be pretty insecure, so it's very easy to pull me out of it. Like in a scenario like this, where it's like, don't be too distracting, because I will get distracted. But the reason I said that it's crazy that I got this deck in September, blah blah blah. It's used. These came out in numerical order. It's 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So I thought that was really interesting because it's all fire. It's all fire. I've never seen this happen in like any deck, let alone this one. See, but my issue with it is that I was not having that discussion. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm open for discussion, but that's what just chatting is for. Like, I was trying to do a channeled message. It started as my guide said, wanting to dissect Christianity and society, and being able to reference other societies who hit the 2,000-year mark. Obviously, I have not witnessed that. I am not the one who's the expert. Like, that's why I get frustrated with people doing that to me, because it's like, you are missing the point. You are starting a discussion. I'm not starting a discussion. I didn't say anything controversial until it got brought up. And it was like, hold on, I'm not going to sit idly, because then it would be hypocritical to the point that I'm making, right? If you really want a revolution, you have to be able, or you have to be willing to do the things that it takes, like standing up to people who intimidate you or otherwise bully you, to be able to have those discussions even when you're unprepared or don't want to, and knowing when enough is enough and where to set your fucking boundaries, right? I am very controversial and I am very chaotic. I'm a fucking Taurus, you know what I mean? Taurus with an aqua moon, like, fuck, I am chaotic good. You know, I am chaos. I get that. It's Illuminati mystics for like a ton of reasons, right? Like, I am very into conspiracy and very controversial. I have many hot takes. I was doing a podcast for a little while. Thought cakes with hot takes. Hot takes with thought cakes. I don't fucking know. That's beside the point. I can have discussions. I'm fine with that. Don't interrupt what I'm fucking doing to say your shitty opinion if you don't want to hear that it's a shitty opinion and have everyone move on, you know? Debate, but it's like, at least address the debate, you know? Like, don't just like start dissecting the reading and try to have a conversation. Like, no offense. It's a little bit more of a one-way thing with the cards, right? That's why, you know, your normal chime-ins are great, and it's like, you know, building off of it, but to completely derail the point, I get frustrated. That's like, you were here for the last troll that fucking did that to me. Remember? Where he's just like, and it's like, dude, why? Why do you need attention so badly, and yet you're not the one on camera? You're not the one talking. You want attention so bad? Do this shit. People will fucking watch, you know? So I'm fine with that. Just time and place. And while this might be the place, it's not the fucking time, you know? Because it's this time. that shit is irritating, you know, like it's irritating. It's like go find the debate channel, you know, go fucking find somebody who wants to talk to you. Don't come for a tarot reading and get mad what the reading is about. The reading is about goddamn fucking society. That's about as general as it gets, general fucking reading. And it does crack me up that people continuously ask me for, oh, can I get a reading? Can I get a reading? I'm pretty sure I put it in my chat rules to not ask for one, and that I don't fucking do personal readings, that they're all general. So it's like as soon as somebody asks that, I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna go well. You didn't read. You know, you didn't fucking read my rules. I told you not to ask. Here you are asking. And I try not to embarrass people, and I don't want to call people out so much, but it's like, again, boundaries, man. Don't come on here and waste my motherfucking time when I'm giving you my time, right? Like, that's crazy. So, yeah, it is always some drama. I think I handle it pretty well. I think I get a little more like, today than I did last time, because I felt way more passionately about this topic. Because I'm hot and I'm smart and I'm cool and I'm funny and I'm talented and I'm, look at, like, because they want to tear me down, bro. Because I'm very confident. I'm not powerful. I'm not popular. But it has zero effect on me because I still am who I am. I totally know why they do. They want to make me feel bad. What do you mean? They want to make me feel bad. They think negging works, you know? I think there's a ton of dudes who really do believe that, like maybe on, like, little girls or whatever, but, like, grown-ass women do not fucking like to be treated like that. They don't, you know? And if they do, then it's go be toxic together. It's not just, like, a general, like, negging is cool. Like, I'm not... I don't know. Maybe humiliation kink. I think some of them actually might want to be humiliated or try to humiliate me, because the kink can go either way. Tons of reasons. Tons of reasons. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, thank you. I agree. I can definitely go to 100, but it's pretty rare, and it's got to be a certain time a month, and that just ended for me. So that was last week. So yeah. I'm pretty chill. Okay. So I've got to vibe. Sometimes I love being able to do this. Don't really. I think I get what you're saying. I don't think that it's meant to digress necessarily. Or I guess I've never heard digress used in that way. Digress off. I digress, you know, but it's veering. Yeah, but again, especially with this deck, the readings are not situational. They're not going to be about your daily life and whatever. It's they are more about, like, the collective, like the general essence of life, you know, what humanity is going through, not what the human being is going through. And so those types of conversations will obviously come up when you are talking about broad and abstract ideals in the first place, for sure. But even if I'm making certain statements or saying certain things, it's definitely up for interpretation. It's still not up for discussion. You know what I mean? It's like you can have your opinions or whatever, and you can definitely contribute, but to just stop and argue, such a weird energy, dude. I just, like, do not understand it at all. But it's cool. So it's not that I, you know, and that's the thing, lesson learned. They definitely, the guides, the aliens, whatever, they took the hint. They took the gist. They were like, fuck it. No, we're not going to get into it anymore. We won't go that route. We're not going to go with that analogy. But I also just want to add that I I am a confirmed Catholic. I am hardcore Christian. I fucking love Jesus. Not that I'm a God, honestly. God to me is like this neon monster that lives in space that is everything and nothing and just beautiful, but definitely not like any more the father to Christ than any other person, right? So like my perception of God has nothing to do with the Bible, but I love a Christian Bible Jesus. See, no, the podcasting didn't work out because it's not on Spotify and nobody listens on anything else. So I was like, fuck it, nobody's gonna listen to this. But I don't use Spotify, and I hate that, man. Making all this money off these artists who are barely making pennies. Like, again, put your money where your mouth is. Put your mouth where your money is. Is YouTube any better? Probably not, but at least they pay people out a little bit more, even though it's a little bit harder. Like, I don't know. Nobody's getting famous off Spotify. It's famous people getting ripped off on Spotify, right? So at least YouTube has that going for it. I like YouTube Music app. It's not good for podcasting either, but no, I am. I protest things like Spotify or Amazon. Do I use other people's Prime account? Yeah, because I'm not consistent, bro. That's and I'm not spending money just because I'm watching shit on fucking. Where else am I gonna watch Garth Marenghi's Dark Place other than on Amazon Prime? It's so weird you said that because that was low key like when I, as an artist, when I think about things that comes up for me like a lot. Where it's like, if I was anything, that is probably. Definitely the direction. I have a spoof news show on my website only, illymilly.com. Stoned current events from the past that I thought was pretty funny, like news anchor, not necessarily talk show, but definitely fun. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I don't think tarot is my main gig. I think it's what I'm really comfortable with doing more than I am really good at it. I think I don't want to sit here and say I'm better than the average tarot reader. I think back in the day when there was less tarot readers, I was just about average. But with the influx of tarot readers and people with tarot cards, I think, yeah, I'm definitely legit. I was taught by witches, not on the internet, not from a book or whatever. So, everybody's different. So I'm confident with tarot because it doesn't mean as much to me. It's very fun, and like I know I'm good at it, and I think that it helped open up my life, being able to do it and having the confidence to do it for people or in front of people. But when it comes to literally all other art forms, I'm very, very shy, very insecure. Tarot is just the one that I'm like kind of a show off about. Like I'll flex on anybody doing tarot. Like, would not shy away. Anybody, like, I don't care who you are, I will give you a tarot reading for the right price or whatever. But like, no one could intimidate me out of doing tarot for them, even if they are a bigger tarot or better tarot or older tarot reader than I am. Like, I know I'm good enough to just be like, nah, I'll show you what's up. But if it comes to something like speaking, like podcasting, I didn't really promote it too much because that shit fucking scares me, right? And a one man podcast is say that I would listen to. I don't listen to podcasts though. That's the other thing is I listen to tarot readings, and so I feel like because I consume it, I can create it. But I don't really listen to podcasts, so I'm not sure if I'm any good at it, so I don't really like push it. But I've got some old episodes on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Because it's like, what alternative is there to Spotify for podcasts? There isn't one, just FYI, because Anchor is still Spotify. And like, yeah, talk show host. That's a funny act. I was filming today. I was acting today. It's another thing I'm pretty good at. And just don't talk about because I was bad. Confidence. Singing. Woo! My favorite thing ever. Really trying to let anyone hear me sing. It's like I get so nervous if I think someone can hear me that my voice changes. So you can imagine I can't actually sing in front of people if I can't even sing with people in the vicinity. You know what I mean? So Yeah, I do know why I just went into detail about all of that, but it was totally unnecessary. That was me being appreciative of the compliment, accepting it with such grace that I actually was almost egotistical, but also humbling myself in the same moment because that is the duality that we seek. You know, like, fuck yeah, rad. Um, cool. So we've got fourth position air. This dude, all about science, all about connection, all about alignment, all about, I think connection more than alignment, because we got the chakra dude in this deck. But this guy, it's connection. It's like science, it's bonds, you know. Very intelligent, not even stoic because he's got a bit of a smile, but he's still very serious. He's just very proud of his work. And knowledge. See, this is, oh man, and honestly, it's so funny that we were talking about things I should do. I'm a fucking scientist for sure. For sure. Maybe even a mathematician, but I didn't do good in school. And so I've just had to fucking meander about. Oh, I'm an artist because I got good grades in art and I enjoy art for sure. It's cathartic. And I'm a writer, but like, what do you do with writing? Journalism? That's what I was always told. So I veer away from that. Science, man. I love physics, especially stuff like quantum physics. Like I'm literally trying to prove time travel exists, just not in the way that you think it does. Like really, really geeky shit. But you know, when you don't make good grades, you don't have the confidence to move forward with things like that, you know? And I made good grades on this. And that's just a reminder for anybody who maybe did have a passion that they weren't good at. I like to think of it like, if I really think I'm a scientist, right? If I really believe that I should have been not a physician, physicist. If I really believe I should have been a physicist, then what I'm meant to do for science is something different. It's something new. It's something that's never been done before. Otherwise, I would have been capable of doing what I was told. You don't need a machine, that's the whole point. I would have been capable of doing it if I was not meant to be doing something different than what already is. And I think that can apply to so many different things, you know, like maybe you got fired from a job and you're like, man, I was good at it, but I wasn't doing it the way they wanted me to, but my way was better. Your way probably was better. You should go take that way somewhere else that will appreciate your innovation, right? Be innovative, you know? And not everybody can be. We need trendsetters, otherwise things don't take off and they don't get implemented. But be innovative when you can be. I think innovation is so important. It's more important than upholding tradition. You know, innovation is the new creation. It's not about what you make anymore because everything's a remake. It's like, yes, you can create, you can make your movies, you can make your art, but if you're just doing a remake or you're just doing a spin-off or you're just doing a fucking, God, there is just this weird wave of art that is just symbols, sometimes status symbols, sometimes social symbols, sometimes like sitcoms as characters, or it's just weird when you use someone else's brand or image or character in your own art. It's like creating's really not enough. It's not enough. I'm sorry. That sounds rude. I think all art is art, and if but creation is not enough because it didn't get us anywhere, you know. I think as a very general society, if you want to zone in once again, I am in the US. We definitely sort of assumed, I think it seems like we all just sort of assumed that we were at a place in space-time, in history, in society,
that things weren't really gonna change, right? Like we just kind of thought this was it. Like this is what life would always be, is how it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. We just assumed that we figured it out. We thought we had the best system. We figured we won our wars and we proved our point and that we were good. And there was a lot of creation. There was still new things. There was still art. There was still music. There was still lights. There was still everything, right? There was still science. But creation alone will only lead to recreating, remaking, etc. It's about innovation. It's not about having the best painting. It's about having a painting with a paint that never existed until you mixed this color with this texture and this substance and it dried on canvas. Innovation, you know? Part of the reason I brought that up is because knowledge, right? All about learning. It's all about sitting back and learning, especially letting women lead, man. It's 2022, it's fem year, and things are not going well for the feminines because some of these masculines fucking know. They fucking know how this shit works. They have wisdom beyond our years, knowledge beyond our understanding, right? People who created a certain structure or are a part of a certain power system, right? All about learning, all about, lately. I love Kanye. I think I definitely disagree with some of his more erratic behaviors. I'm like, nobody is perfect, and I worry about his health sometimes, sure. But I love him. I love Kanye because one, I love Geminis, and two, that man's basically a Taurus. Like, you should look at his birth chart. It's amazing. I fucking love him, and I do not trust. I used to really fuck with her heavy, dude. And then, like, since the divorce, I'm like, nah, man, you shady fucking bitch. Like, don't play my dude like that. I don't like that. No, we fucking love Kanye in this house. We adore Kanye, respect Kanye, hope for the best for Kanye. Definitely a big fucking Kanye fan. And like, what is crazy? I hate that word because I get called crazy all the time. I don't think I'm crazy. Dude, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, I'm sorry, but she was so messy. And to act like what she's doing is normal or should just be acceptable is so bizarre. Like, she wasn't fully divorced before she decided to have a highly public relationship with someone entirely different. And then, like, I don't know, tries to say, I'm so scared, I'm so scared. 4 kids with this man. 4. You act like you didn't make him up, like, to look like he is crazy. You act like you did not manipulate and, I almost said annihilate, like being maniacal. The whole fucking scenario, like, long before the divorce, so that you could do exactly this and villainize this man who gave you the semen to create 4 fucking children. Stop acting like, I didn't know he would act like this. I didn't know how he would respond. Yes, you fucking did. Obviously, you fucking did. How long were they together? 4 fucking kids, and you want to just, I didn't know. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That's like, oh man, don't get me, we don't need to be talking about the cards. Let's get back to the tarot cards, man. I don't want to talk about this because it's something I feel very passionately about, especially because I think about those kids, man. Like, I don't want to get into it because it just goes right back to the colonial conversation, and I don't even want to go there right now. It's too fucking early or late, or I ain't got the time. So, second position, water. All about love, all about knowledge. But I want to say something about knowledge, man. I do have a photo. I just like my dearly beloved Fox Mulder am cursed with a photographic memory. It sounds sweet, but let me tell you, it's really not that fun when everyone else struggles to like recall things and you just remember it all, It's really irritating.
It's really irritating. Like, just like having the receipts stored in your wallet for no reason. And then you throw them out and they just like show back up crazy, gets reprinted, whatever. It's like a completely immersive television show in my head. Yeah, it's not that fun being the only one to remember stuff. But because of it, there's a lot of shit that I just know because I can recall the page of a textbook, or someone will tell me something, it'll stand out because if I can remember where I am, I can sometimes remember what it said, but I'm not an audiophile. Like I don't always remember exact words, but sometimes I do. So I am often, especially being a Taurus, I'm often perceived as being someone who holds grudges. No, I simply remember it. Okay, I'm sorry you don't remember what people have done to you, but I do remember. And I don't have to have any feelings about it. I don't have to have animosity towards it. I don't have to have anger towards it. But that doesn't mean that I don't remember it. So am I holding a grudge just because I have a receipt? No. Did I try to throw out the receipt? Yeah, photographic, man. I can't, man, it's like I don't remember my entire life, obviously, because I don't, but if you were to say something that happened, I'd be able to, oh yeah, sure. My earliest memories start at somewhere between ages 2 and 3, because whatever. I moved out of, it doesn't matter. Point is, I don't hold grudges. I have memories, right? And it's like, don't shit on me just because you don't, like, I'm sorry I drew up this boundary based on my experience that I had prior with you or with someone else. And boundary, I'm not holding hatred. I'm not holding anger. I'm not holding it against you. I am simply holding up my boundary because that's where I had to put it so that it didn't happen again, because I have yet to forget what happened. Same thing. People want to say, having a photographic memory or boundaries. Yeah, no, I get that. Boundaries. Hey, good evening. Decided not to sleep because I love being in space. So we're having a really good time over here. Clearly. Yes, and people like to also accuse me of being a know-it-all. That irritates the fuck out of me because I have always been obsessed with the question why, to the point where I was myself because I won't stop asking that question. I'm a very curious person. I want to know everything, but I'm far from knowing everything, nor will I ever know everything. I will know everything that I need to know, and I will know everything that I'm going to know, but I'll never know everything. We can't even conceptualize what that is, right? So, whatever. No big deal. I know a lot of things, mainly in part because I have a photographic memory. I have a bank of information. A lot of shit I don't really need to know. People put me on the spot or just ask a question into the abyss, and I so often have the answer. And then people want to question me or question, I'm like, that's fine. You should look it up. I'm not sure this is just what I remember. A lot of times I'm right. I'm not always right. Why does that make sense? Just because I'm knowledgeable. I am knowledgeable. I don't know it all. I never said I know it all. I don't want to know it all. Again, the very concept of everything is overwhelming. I couldn't possibly think that I could obtain that sort of information. I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know it all. I don't know shit about fuck, but I'm very knowledgeable because I remember stuff. I have a lot of information. It's oftentimes useless. But I'm also very wise. People have been telling me that for a long time. And you know what really stands out? Remember those, I'm a little distracted from the tarot, that's okay. I feel like everybody's just like getting up, getting ready for work, and they're like, I'll just put this bitch on. She don't shut the fuck up. Yeah. Listen to me while you drive to work and brush your teeth and have your breakfast or your dinner or whatever you're doing. See, and then I say it, and they're like, yeah, I'm gone. Like, just focus, man. Okay, so very knowledgeable, kind of useless. Fourth grade, you know those like, it maybe was Leap Start, and it was like fourth grade adventure. There was one, I think it was fourth or fifth grade, could have been sixth grade, I don't really know. Those old school computer games. I feel like I don't draw a young crowd, but if I do, I'm really sorry that you guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But there was this one that was like Egyptian themed, like maybe it was in Egypt. It was like so fucking cool. You had to go around and collect hieroglyphs and then like put them in this wall. And it took us so long. There was 4 of us playing this game. Granted, it was like not my level grade, not my grade. But there's 4 of us, and we were working so hard. We're collecting these hieroglyphs. We're like, fuck yeah, we need like 2 more. Oh my god, we found this whole wall. And the wall finally comes down. And there's 3 more fucking walls, man. Oh my god. It was just like, we really thought we were about to beat the game. And it was like, yeah, you're a quarter of the way through. Good job. And it took us forever, you know? So funny. But that was actually kind of random because I told you all of that just to say that there was a cat that was the like, what do you call it? But I guess it's a narrator, right? There was a cat that sat next to this wall, and every time you got a question right or like brought the hieroglyphs, it would say random stuff. And one of the things that it would say, and it said it in this like weird voice that I'm gonna like try to imitate for no reason. It was just, you are very wise for being so young. And that stuck with me. That stuck with me. It's still sticking with me. I mean, I'm talking, I was probably in like 3rd grade or something, you know, trying to figure out this 5th grade adventure, 6th grade adventure. And I was with my older siblings, so like they should have had it. But it was a tough game, man. It was a really tough game. And that shit is so funny because what I really remember isn't anything that I learned. I remember how hard the game was. I remember that line. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was talking about a CD-ROM computer game, and you're talking about drug trips. Like, I'm a fucking geek, man. I'm a nerd, okay? I don't know what you're talking about. I say that I'm a nerd, but I'm so nerdy that even when I was into drugs, I wrote my college papers about it. Like, I don't know. So, yeah, yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that little fictitious version of Bastet, my idol. Cool. Amazing, really. You are very wise for being so young. And I think that started my quest for wisdom. I really do, because after some time, I don't know when it would have started, but I just, my whole life, people have been telling me that I'm so wise, I'm so wise. I always thought it was kind of weird, but now I embrace it. I feel like I'm at this weird age where it's not impressive to be wise, but it's not commonplace to be wise at the age I'm at. Where when I was young, it was very impressive to people that I could tell them something that would impact them and teach them something in that moment. And that's wisdom, because I can have all the knowledge in the world, and if I don't know how to, then I just have knowledge. I just have the knowing, the doing. That's wisdom. Okay, so I'm also probably just a philosopher, and that's why I don't have a fucking job. Cheers, buddy. Cool. Yeah, I am
Ibogaine. Ibogaine. Iboga. That's me. I am the drug. Okay. We've got third position, water, taking a look at the self. We're going right back to that conversation. We're going right back to this whole, if you want to be a narcissist and think about no one but yourself, then you need to start thinking of yourself as the villain that you are. Rah, 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 rah. You need to think of yourself in terms of yourself, comparing you to you, right? Thinking very critically of the self, not in the way that you tear yourself down, not the way that you insult yourself or self-deprecate. It's about critically analyzing your general thoughts and behaviors, past actions, present actions, and hopes for future actions, right? It's really about breaking it all down into bite-sized pieces and realizing that it's not even about being a victim. I think people, it's a very quick response to say, "Oh, don't be a victim." My thing is, don't assume that you are all good. Don't assume that you are inherently good all of the time. That's where the critical analysis comes in. It's like, there's a lot going on in the world. Yep, a lot of bad people in charge. Yep, a lot of evilness going on. Yep, okay. Why? What did I do to deserve this existence? Because this is where we are, right? And if you believe in blind faith or goodwill or whatever, you don't necessarily believe in a predetermined destiny, but as a time traveler, you kind of know. You kind of just you show up knowing what the fuck you're supposed to do or what you want to do, right? But to see how things are playing out in the present reality, where you're like, damn, I chose this life. I chose this era. I chose this lifetime. Of all other times I could have been born, why did I come into existence now when everything around me is so evil? First of all, everything's always been evil. It's just that we're hyper aware of it because we are interconnected with the internet, you know, so no. What the fuck? How old are you, bro? What? No. Sorry. Oh God. Maybe I don't know enough, but like, no, sweetie. What? No. Anyways, I honestly don't even remember what we were talking about because I felt kind of guilty about going off about that just now. I'm laughing because RIP was young. That sucks, but nah, it wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. That has always blown my mind, and I have always loved being human so much, and I love the very human aspects of being human. A lot of people live for food or drugs or pleasure, sex. Those are like the things they love, you know. But to me, I would have experienced those things no matter what species I am. I was gonna fuck, I was gonna fight, and I was gonna eat food, no matter who I became. Snake, ant, frog, anything. Like, I'm here to do that stuff, but it's by far, well, not by far, it is far from being a priority for me. Well, necessities are different than priorities, I guess. But you know, because we are human, I'm in it for the fucking fashion. I'm in it for the goddamn emotions. I am in it for the poetry, man. Because if I was a snake, I might be, but I'm not about to write it down. That was harsh. That was harsh. That was a little harsh. Yeah, right. I think reincarnation is a complete possibility. And personally, I, as a time traveler, remember tons of my past lives.
And actually, my godmother works with people to remember their past lives. I remembered some of mine before I worked with her, but then getting the chance to work with her it had me very connected to it. And now I can just kind of go visit myself anywhere I am. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely believe in reincarnation. I'm not really sure that's the Buddhists, though. I thought that was the Hindus. No, both. I think a lot of religions believe in reincarnation. Um, and also, Buddhism, it's not really being reborn to learn lessons, it's being reborn to reach nirvana. I think with Hinduism, it's about the lessons and like coming back until you don't, but like it's almost like with a classic reincarnation, or from what I understand of Hinduism, it's the reincarnation. You keep moving forward until you get to this end. It's about ascension. You come back each time, you go higher and higher, and you desire less and less, you know? So you just like work your way up in a sense. Not that it's like, you know, we're above you. It's just two different directions. Fucking dick. They're not even spots. If anything, I'm a zebra. Hey. Yeah, it's very painful. Yeah, I think about this stuff all the time. I'm very grateful to be a human. That's why I'm super into other humans, right? And like I said, fashion. I don't know why you said my bad, but it's not your bad. That was just my interpretation if you're referring to the religious thing. And again, I remember stuff, but you should definitely always verify anything I say unless we don't have time for it. We just gotta go with our best instincts, right? Hello. Hello. But I'm holding these two cards. We have the Sage and the Scribe, and I'm the Scribe because I fucking remember shit and I write it down and blah, 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 blah. So the Sage and the Scribe, the Sage do, and the Scribe say. The Sage do, the Scribe say. Sage do, Scribe say. I really love the synchronicities I'm seeing with the deck. Literally had 2, 3, 4 fire, and then like Sage and Scribe. They just feel like very balanced. Like I think that was a pretty, it was a good reading, except for it wasn't very chronological, to say the least. It's been pretty wild up in here. Also, is this a good time to be twitching? Man, what do y'all say when you talk about Twitch? I said Twitchers earlier, and then I just said twitching. Like, it just doesn't sound right. It just seems kind of rude to my Twitchy folks, you know? Like, I don't think I like that. But is this like a good time for tarot? It is so early in the morning. I'm gonna start streaming when I wake up instead of staying up. Damn, I didn't know there would be such a crowd. Everyone's looking at me like, you think this is a crowd? Like, yeah, I'm on baby channel. Twidgety. I really like that because I was super into Twiggy when I was in middle school. Still love her, but like it was a thing back then. Journey, the maiden. Oh, see that that fourth position Earth came up again. Why are you holding up a foundation that you complain about? Here's what I will say. All these people, a lot of ladies, whatever, people upset about the things that are fucking happening in this country that I live in. And don't get me wrong, I'm pissed about it. Oh, yeah, it is a good time. I don't think I can smoke in here. I already rolled one up, but I just go. But this isn't time and place. I thought about it. I really want to. For that reason, yeah, it would be sick right now. I just didn't ask, so not gonna do it. I don't really remember what we were talking about. I was gonna do like a 30-minute reading because I didn't think anyone would tune in. And now I'm like, damn, y'all are fucking popping at this hour. I have a morning crowd. That's cool. I have to wake up pretty early most days, you know, so this could actually work for me. I might be back at this time. That is so bizarre. I've always been such a creature of the night, but I'm a bit of a day walker these days. So, hey man, if y'all are here, this is more people than I get, earlier in the night. So I'm cool with it. I might start popping in the mornings and we can start our day with some tarot. That's kind of a cute thought. I really like that. I can see that happening. I think it's gonna happen. I really do have some other stuff that I wanted to do. I don't mind being here. It's just like, what's the vibe? I don't think I want to keep drawing tarot cards, but I don't necessarily mind talking. But like, I get that you came for the category of tarot, but it's the mystery deck, and I'm not really, one, physically in the position to have like a full spread, and two, that it's just too much right now. It's too much. It's too much. Oh, the journey and the maiden. All right. I will bring this up though. This is what I was about to say, and then I got distracted and was like, maybe I won't say it. I don't. I know. I thought about that too. Um, Man, these are some fucking tough balloons. Cause I was trying to break it with the maiden card, and I just like put a fucking little dent in it. These are strong ass balloons, dude. I was literally like laying on them, sitting on them, squeezing them between my legs, not to pop them, but just like for the videos and photos that we took today. And they didn't pop, not a single one. So these are like legit fucking balloons, man. Or it's because they're from yesterday. Really? None of them popped. Yeah, they don't even pop. Like they're not popping. So it's funny, it sounded that intense. Oh, there ain't no neighbors to wake up. Don't worry about that. That's so funny though, isn't it? So fucking wild. So fucking wild. Yeah, they don't pop. Not even my fucking body weight could pop these balloons. It was crazy. I really thought that was pretty cool. It might just be because they don't have as much air. So the latex to air ratio is just off. Not enough air. It's not thin enough, maybe. And so it's like a thicker. I don't like popping balloons. There was this, I went to a birthday party, probably about first grade, kindergarten, first grade. It was at McDonald's back in the day when like it was fucking sick to have your birthday at McDonald's because they had the big kids. They were like simple colored games and stuff like that. It was really cute. And the seats, the burger seats. So, and they used to have like tablecloths and not crowns, but they had like hats and stuff and aprons that they would give the kids. So like they used to have like legit fucking birthdays at McDonald's. Like I had one at some point and I was like, that's like all I wanted to do for my birthday was like have a birthday party at McDonald's. All my friends did, my siblings did, like it was fucking lit. So I was in like kindergarten, first grade, somebody's birthday was there. And we had to play this game where everybody had a balloon and you had to just keep sitting on it. Yeah, it was so lit. You had to keep sitting on it until it popped. And like I said, I still don't like balloons popping. Like I don't know. It doesn't necessarily scare me. I'm pretty hard to jump scare, like I'm not much of a flincher unless I'm in a mood and it's like a PTSD flinch. You can't like come around a corner and be like, boo, with me very ever. But I don't like balloons popping. It rubs me the wrong way. Like I just don't like it. It's not the loud noise or anything. It's just like, ugh, why? It's just like I guess a pet peeve. But I was doing it anyways, and I was the first one to pop this balloon. It's weird that I had this thought. Oh, it's not weird. It's the balloons. I'm like, this is the second time I've thought about this today because I've been with the balloons all day. And even though I did that as a child, still didn't like popping balloons back then. Didn't like balloons popping. I still was like, fuck it, I'm gonna win this game right now. And I was just like, boom. Probably because I was definitely bigger than like most of the other kids in my class. Yeah. I've been 100 pounds since fourth grade. I mean, I weigh a lot more than that now, but like fourth grade, I was 100 pounds. So I was always like a pretty big kid. So I think it was just sheer luck and weight that popped my balloon that day. But I still don't fucking like it, and I still don't want to do it. That is so sweet. I don't even recognize you, and you came in here with these like so cute emojis. It's so hype. It's not really tarot though. Please don't fucking ask. We have the mystery deck, and I'm fucking over it. I'm so sorry that you were, in a way, duped to be here. When I end it, you can rewatch it, but you will be hard pressed to find the tarot readings. We got very distracted this evening. It's very sporadic. It's kind of cool though. We had some good conversation. We had some bad conversation. It's mostly me conversing with myself, and my boy Daps over here. Big assumption that a boy, but what else? Thank you. Dude, I saw Fire Vada and thought Freya and was like, hell yeah, it's fucking Friday. Bro, it is literally Tuesday. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It is Tuesday. Chill out, man. I don't really even know what a lot of that means, but like, I appreciate it. Duped to be here. Like, I duped you. You're admitting that I duped you because I said tarot and now I'm not doing tarot. Sad for me and you. Overlay, are you talking about this? Because I'm really proud of it. It's just, I just used the Twitch beta studio. But I love it. I love it. I think it's so cute. I love the color scheme. I love this. This is their image, but like, whatever, it works for me. And yeah, these balloons are pretty, they're full of air, but they're pretty secure. I'm just saying, these bitches will not pop. I could thrust my whole body weight on a balloon when I was 6 years old, and they still don't pop. You know, if I put a little force into it, I'm sure they would. I have this one ring that's literally just like, I'll try the snake. No, I'll try the unicorn. Nope. Ah, I'm a chicken. I don't like it. No, it's not happening. I'm not popping these balloons. I think we might have to pop them at some point. Sweet. What's up, everybody? Okay, cool. Thank you. I don't do individual readings on my page anyway. It's very general always, and I only have certain, like, I think this is the only deck I have with me right now. I have one that's new, but when somebody gifts me a deck, I have to make sure they're the first one to get the reading, and she hasn't got a reading yet, so like I can't use it yet. And I did put it in, I think, no, I do have one more deck. I just don't remember what it is. I didn't grab it, it's in the room, and I don't feel like going to get it. But yeah, it's been a weird day. I was like, today's the best day ever, and then everybody tried to snap me. I'm having the best day ever. I'm like, fuck you, it's still gonna be the best day ever. So, hell yeah. This was gonna be like a 30-minute stream, and yet, hell yeah. Amazing. Amazing. So, super fucking cool. Super cool. This might be my new fucking time of day. I love that for us. We all know each other. That's so cute. I love that for you guys. How are you both? How are we doing? What are we doing? Is there anything, any questions? Do you have any like tarot related questions you want to ask me? Originally, I was gonna go live on just chatting in my title. It's not that I was gonna, I did, and no one was there. And I was like, honestly, people only tune in if I'm doing tarot, usually. Sometimes the art category works, but just chatting is like, I don't know, people don't like listening to me talk for as much as people like listening to me talk. But my title was just, I'm in space, ask me anything. So we can do that if you have any. I said tarot related questions just because we're in the tarot category and I feel obligated to keep it tarot related. But if you want to ask me fucking anything, tarot related or not, feel free, because honestly, you know, I usually got like one, maybe two people watching this shit, and man, there's a whole handful of you. I'm here for it, but I'm done with this deck. So if you have any questions for me, especially in regard to tarot or life, hey, maybe you gotta ask a question and I just give you my best instinct of an answer. It's up to you. But just let me know. Is that a UFO emoji? Oh, that is cute. I love X-Files. If you were gonna ask my favorite TV show, it's been American Horror Story for a really long time. But now that I've completed the entire series of X-Files and watched both of the movies, but haven't gotten to the spin-offs yet, I would have to say X-Files. Oh, okay. That's so funny because I feel like there's decks that I lust after, but of my personal collection, my favorite's definitely easily this one, the mystery deck. Easily this one. I do have a soft spot for pretty much all of them because, like, the Halloween Oracle to me was the most personally revolutionary, so it's like really important. But then the Thoth deck was my first, and that's how I learned tarot. So that's also like the best one or whatever. Yeah, I bought it used, so it didn't have the box, and I didn't know what deck it was when I got it. So I was like, "Ooh, it's the mystery deck." And now I know what it is, and I still call it that because it's a mystery of who's going to show up and talk. Because it's by guides, gods, goddesses, and galactics, right? So the Halloween Oracle that I just mentioned is for channeling messages from the deceased, but this mystery deck is for channeling messages from the beyond. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's decks that I want. Like, if I could choose any deck right now to have, I would probably go with that Salvador Dali tarot, you know? Or like maybe Oliver Hybert's deck. That's probably biased, but it is really cool. I like the dark but colorful. Like, I have a lot of dark decks, so I feel like his deck would really fit in with mine, you know? But Alice in Wonderland, there's a lot of them. I've seen some really good ones. It's another one I've been very tempted to buy. I like the extremist drawings, if you will, where she's got like the big eyes and the rabbit looks kind of realistic. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about. No, it doesn't sound good. I bought my cousin the Nightmare Before Christmas deck, and that is actually super cute and very well done. I would even go as far as to say if you are looking for that type of deck where you want like the Disney vibe, definitely the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. I'd recommend it. I'm not gonna buy it for myself just because I bought it for her and I feel like that's fine with me. Like, it's her deck. I love that. I'm gonna get my readings from her. But I really, really think the Nightmare Before Christmas deck is way better than I was expecting. Way better than I was expecting. It is cute as shit, bro. And oh man, it's so good. It's so good. So, yeah. There's a ton of decks that I like, but yeah, my own, I think the mystery deck, even though it's my newest deck, I think, other than the one I haven't used yet. But I like them all because also the pink deck is super cool because it's like very different. It's metallic. And it is a classic Rider-Waite, but it's so different that I don't even care it's a Rider-Waite. And it was a gift from my lover, which is like, it was the best gift. Like, it was just so sweet, you know? So I like all my decks, but yeah, if I could just have one right now. I don't think I do. You said Lumeria, and I'm like, oh, that sounds familiar. And it's like, well, outside of tarot, it does. Yeah, you know what Lumeria is, but I didn't know. Oh, dude, that's what I'm saying. I kind of hate the Rider-Waite deck. When I first learned about tarot and learned tarot from, like I said, one of my witch aunts. Um, my cover mother, basically. Um, she suggests that I get a Rider Waite to learn. So like I went out and bought one, and I'm a firm believer, and I don't give a fuck what the internet says. I am a firm believer that your tarot decks they should be gifted to you, or you should find them. And if you, and like that's why I buy mine used, because I'll be in the mood to get a tarot deck, and it's like not everybody's gonna gift it to me, but if I buy it used, then it came from someone else. You get what I'm saying? Um, so I went out and bought myself a Rider Waite deck, and I lost it. I literally lost it. I looked through it. I didn't really love the illustrations. I didn't love the plaid back. But it was just to learn. She like wrote some stuff down, told me about it, gave me a little reading, like she previewed it for me, and then she was like, yeah, it's a good one to learn on. But nah, I lost it. Then I was working at this hippie shop back in the day. This was 10 years ago. And I saw this image of a cross. I went in the back to grab somebody a box because, we sold statuary, so you'd have to go get a box and take it home. So I went back there for something like that. And I saw, oh my God, your little heart is so cute. That's really cute too. Yeah, that's the thing. That's how I felt about my Thoth deck. That's actually what I'm talking about right now. So I saw this image of a cross, and I'm very spiritual. I have been for a long time, but I'm still a confirmed Catholic that went to Catholic school for like over 10 years, right? So I see a cross, and I'm like, I've never seen that cross before. That's a really weird looking cross, and it looked like a card, I didn't know what it was. Like, again, I wasn't super familiar with tarot yet. And I walk out front, and my manager is just like, yo, can you help this lady? She's picking out tarot decks. Like, she wants to see some. Oh my gosh, my alarm's going off. Isn't that lovely? Literally, I hate iPhones so fucking much. It's just, that was so nice. This is how I wake up every day. It's so lovely. Mm. Mm. We just have classical music breaks throughout the day where I'll just set the timer for like random times. Just goes, oh, it's 12:12. What does that mean? Nothing. It's a classical music break. Very fun. Yes, Android for the biggest win. I am still very depressed that LG doesn't make phones anymore. Like, I was shook to my core when I went to the phone store and found that out. I was so depressed. And it's so funny because, like, I get that they stopped making phones because they weren't having the sales to compete with other phones. But the reason that they didn't make sales is because everyone with an LG phone has the same fucking phone they've had for years. Because you don't have to replace it because they're great phones. They're great phones. And I've had the same phone since 2018, bro. And that screen didn't crack until this year. Okay? So, like, man, I am very passionate about LG phones. I don't even know how I feel about Androids overall because I've been using LG phones since smartphone depressed. I'm depressed. I found out like a couple months ago, and I'm trying to. I've been testing out an iPhone. I hate it. Y'all hype that shit up for no goddamn. I'm not gonna get into it right now because I was telling the story about how I found my first tarot deck and it's super cute. Man, I hate iPhones, and LG will forever fucking be number one. You guys will never know the joy of the Good Morning song. Hold on. Is that even on my phone? I gotta play it for you. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I thought this was supposed to be tarot. It was supposed to be tarot, and it was tarot, but it's not anymore. All right. Look, man. Look, man. This is literally, please tell me it's on here. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. Ready? Are you ready for this? Ready? Why'd it stop? Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Literally. I'm gonna play it one more time so you guys can hear it. My phone times out after 15 seconds. That's why it stopped. Yeah, this is so good. This is literally like no one will ever have this alarm again because you guys thought iPhones were the shit and they're not. So fucking good. So good. I just, the best. Okay, yeah, I like the classical music, but like the song, you will never hear it again. It's very sad. I actually started shitposting on the LG Facebook page because I'm like, everybody's bitching about your appliances and yet you're stop making cell phones. Nobody's complaining about the cell phones. Come on, man. Anyways, yeah, dude, it's really good. Whew, sitting in this bathtub. Oh, I got a cramp in my leg. So, anyways, my tarot deck. Are we still talking about that? Yeah, it is like that. It's literally amazing. Like, imagine waking up and somebody's just like humming and singing good morning to you. It literally brings me so much joy. But I prefer the classical music also. I used the good morning song for many years. I switched to classical to be more calm. Just found a crystal in the bathtub. Just it's mine. It fell out of the tarot bag. So, anyways, did you guys really want to hear about the tarot deck thing? I was like telling you about my first deck, just by incident, because y'all asked about some stuff. It does sometimes feel that way, but it's okay. So, showing this lady some tarot decks, and we had this Kindle where you would pull up previews of different cards from the deck, and she specifically wanted to see like only Egyptian decks. So I look in the case and we're like finding them together. She's like, oh, that one, that one, that one. And I'm like, this one, this one, this one, you know. So I pulled out probably like 7 decks for her to look at, and I had to go on the Kindle and pull up each one. And I pulled up the Thoth deck, and I was like, wait a second, I recognize this cross. I just saw this cross. Like, this is all happening within minutes. I was in the back, looked at the cross, came out front. I was told to help this woman find her tarot deck, and I pull up the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck, and it was the cross. And so I was like, hold on, I'll be right back. And I went in the back and picked up that cross. Ended up being an actual tarot deck. And she looked through it and she was like, honestly, this isn't for me, but maybe it's for you. And I was like, no shit. And that was my first deck. But my manager was like, yeah, you can take it. It's probably short cards, and that's why it's back there, you know. And I was like, okay, cool. So I gave a few of them away. And then I had this tin. It was like a card tin, and I put one of my tarot cards in the front of the tin so that the back of the card was exposed. So I was reading 69 cards out of 80, because the Thoth deck has 80 cards in it, you know? So the first, like, so many years that I did tarot, I was, like, using a short deck. And I never had a booklet or anything, so I learned completely on my own. And I think that's why I'm as connected to it as I am, is because I let it happen naturally. And a few months after I got that deck and was like practicing with it and using it, I found my Rider-Waite deck again. So funny. Maybe it was a couple of years later, but it just kept like popping up and disappearing. Like it would just like be there and then disappear. So there's one day, I was still living with an old roommate and his in-laws or whoever came over, his sibling, whatever. Uh, and they're very religious, you know, so I'm talking to this guy who's super Christian, loves going to church, you know. And he was super interested in the fact that I did tarot. And I thought that was really cool to the point where I'm still talking about it 5 years later. Like, I thought it was really dope that he inquired about something so far outside of his own religion that I had pulled down the Rider-Waite deck because we wanted to try playing cards with him. And, you know, he said, I would love to have a tarot deck. I think it's really cool. And I was like, buddy, take this one. Take this one. You know, like, this is yours now. So cute. So damn cute. Because like I said, super religious, goes to church, just really non-judgmental. Like, super sweet. Anyways, LG didn't necessarily go out of business because of iPhones, but because everyone's so obsessed with iPhones and Pixel or Samsung, Google, whatever the fuck, like, people just didn't buy LG phones. Like, they just don't make phones anymore. And I know it's because anybody who fucks with LG phones just don't buy them often enough. And y'all should have been using them. Your life would be so different. It's like, sure, the camera's not as good, but honestly, I hate iPhone cameras. They're creepy. It's like, listen, the most accurate reflection of you is always going to be a mirror because it doesn't change anything. It does not flip it around. It's literally just a straight up reflection. And iPhones, like, I haven't been using an iPhone all this time, right? And I noticed that they like hyper pixels. It's like a borderline of an X-ray of you when you're using that camera. And it's like, that's not what I look like in the mirror. Like, why are you intensifying my face? Like, it always looks darker and more blemishy and sickly almost, where it's like, you're exaggerating the way I look because it's most likely a marketing scheme, right? You have the camera kind of be faulty. Your apps, you can sell new camera upgrades, you can sell this and that. You got people using your fucking filters and your algorithms, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's such a trap, dude. I don't know how a majority of people fell for the iPhone trap. And now that I've never got it, and I've always been like, not into iPhones. Now that I've actually used them, I'm like, man, y'all really fell for a trap. Like, you're like deep in it now. It's crazy because it's not that good. Like, it's literally just not that good. The camera is hyper aware of itself. The storage is okay. Why are there two drop down menus? There's like a drop down and a drop up. Can we not have it all in one go? Like, it's so weird. Why do I have to go to my settings to connect to the Wi-Fi, but I can turn the Wi-Fi off from my up down menu? Like, it's very nonsensical. You guys, I don't get it. I'm glad to hear that. Was there any other questions? We're doing questions, tarot or not related. Doesn't matter. I'm just accepting any questions that one might have. Obviously, I prefer Android, so might as well not ask. This shit is still going. It's more popping now than it was. Oh, shit. Hello. What's good, y'all? I literally thought I was about to do a 30-minute stream, and here we are, 2 and almost a half hours later. 2 and a quarter hour later. Anybody got any questions, tarot related or otherwise? I know I'm in the tarot category. I did try to do a tarot reading, but it just wasn't going well, so I put the deck away. I'm good. I'm done. That's why I'm like open to answering any tarot questions you have, because I don't want you to feel misled because I brought you here under the guise of tarot. So we can keep it on topic tarot related, but I don't really have much to add, and I'm not doing any more polls. So it is up to you to ask anything you might want to know about Okay. On that note, I am gonna take a quick break, so I know there's a bit of a lag sometimes with the chat, so I'll be right back, and while I'm gone, leave your questions, okay? If you feel like it. And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and ain't nobody had questions. There was three people. I hope you have a great Friday, Tuesday, best day ever, free to fire fodder. I do. I hope it's a great day. I hope you were here to see it and hear it. Um, too. I don't know. Nobody's really. I can just talk about random shit, but I also could just do other things. I had to pee. That's why I had to be. I participate a little more, but you didn't. So I think it's about time we all just call it. I think that's what's going on. Use or drop it. I'm just gonna go. It was break time just to see what happened, and it's over. It's over. We're done. So thank you for tuning in so much. This has honestly been one of the better nights on Twitch, and it started off pretty rough. So it was so much fun. Hopefully I'll be back sooner than later because we know I have a tendency to just kind of fuck off and nip out for a while, and I'm trying not to do that. Hence why I, on a whim, decided, why sleep when I could stream on Twitch? You're welcome. It's gonna be a great day. It's actually the best day ever until tomorrow. So I really hope that you're having a great time. I hope you have a great day. I hope that everything goes your way. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad we're all here. I'm glad we're in this together. And I hope to see you again, or hear from you again, and that you'll be here next time. Okay? All right, neighbor, I'll see you next time. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Mwah. Good morning. Go get that day done. Make it your bitch. Okay? Love you.